The kids of many of LA's varied ethnic communities are often surrounded by city crime and violence. The ethnic street gangs are where the kids get their real introduction. It's here in Pico Rivera where Bob Mecado got his first taste of the Latin street gang life.
A lot of times peer pressure draws kids in. A lot of times I think it's maybe your environment, the environment that you brought in. So I started smoking marijuana, I started smoking weed, and then I started getting the pills, and then it led to heroin. And when I tried it, it was like my eyes were open to another world. It was kind of like, it made me feel like Superman. You know, it gave me a false security, a false confidence.
Bob's journey into street gangs and heroin addiction led him into an endless cycle of arrests, convictions, and imprisonments. 35 years in and out of prison only fueled his addiction.
I used to drink 3 six-packs to a case of beer a day. That's not counting the pills I used to take. I used to take Valiums, I used to take Whites, I used to shoot speed. I mean, there was no curbing my addiction. You know, I just wanted to get higher and higher. Your muscles feel like somebody hits you with a hammer in the legs, you know, and I mean, it was horrible, you know, it was ugly. I remember just laying there in my own vomit, you know, and there was no way that I could move.
Bob's insatiable addiction led to further crime, arrests, and sentences. Finally, out of prison, Bob turned to the government-sponsored methadone program to curb his dependence on heroin.
I used to go there every morning at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'd get up and go get my methadone, and then I'd go about my business. I didn't have to go steal anymore. I didn't have to go pull robberies anymore. What it did was it took away that urge, but it really didn't satisfy my high.
The methadone was breeding a stronger dependence. Bob's physical addiction was demanding even heavier hits of heroin.
It was kind of like I was in a jail out here on the streets. If you shoot heroin, you really can't feel the heroin because of the methadone, because the methadone's stronger than the heroin. But the thing is that what you have to do is get that much more heroin.
Speedballing, a blending of speed and heroin, was Bob's next high.
It's an upper, and you mix that with the heroin and shoot that, and boy, you're off. You know, you're off in another world.
The only world speedballing led to was one behind bars. Unable to bear the vicious cycle of crime and imprisonment any longer, Bob reached out to a God he didn't know.
God spoke to me. He says, the hell that you're going through now, Bob, is nothing compared to the hell that you're going to. And I remember that when I said Jesus, I just felt a peace come into my mind, a peace come into my heart. I didn't say any eloquent prayer, but I know that night when Jesus Christ came into my heart, something happened.
For the next 10 months, Bob spent time learning about Christ and experiencing a complete healing from a lifetime of crime and drug abuse.
For 35 years, you know, I was doing these things, and I never believed in healing. I never believed that God could take away habits. But I remember when I used to see those people in prisons talking about Jesus Christ, I knew there was something there, but I just didn't know what it was.
Bob's dramatic turnaround was an impetus to return to prison to encourage the inmates he left behind.
I used to go visit guys at the county jail. I mean, I didn't care who I visited, or I just wanted to visit somebody and tell them about the Lord.
Bobby had no feelings for anyone or anything. I mean, he could see someone slashed, cut, didn't matter, and he'd walk right over them. He could eat lunch next to a dead person. It just didn't matter, nothing mattered, and now he's sensitive and he's caring.
Bob spent so much time in the cell block that he was asked to join the LA County jail staff as a chaplain.
And it completely took me off by surprise, because I thought, well, you know, me a chaplain? I believe I'm the first ex-drug addict chaplain that there is.
In just 5 years, the weekly worship services have mushroomed from a mere 30 men to more than 300 inmates and deputies alike.
If our Lord was here, that's what he would be doing. He would not be sitting in an office. He'd be walking the streets and looking for the people, looking for the men that need him. And I think that's what I'm doing.
Today, Bob holds the keys to nearly every prison facility in the state of California.
It is unheard of. The deputies themselves, the new ones, wonder how he got there. It's like the parting of the Red Sea. There's nothing like it.